Welcome back to episode 2 of the Power Trip podcast. To the right of me, I got our new guest. He gonna stay on this podcast. We didn't have him the first time, but now we gonna have him the second time. Welcome to Muhammad. And down here we got Tef. Y'all know him last time, and of course I got me. I got me. You know what I'm saying? My name. I go by 4 Point Play or Nathaniel. But let's get into before we do this, in episode 1 we talked about our me and Tef's top 5 MVPs for this season, who we think is going to win MVP this season. But because we have Muhammad here, he wasn't able to do it. So Muhammad, let us hear your top 5 players you think are going to win MVP. Talk to him, yeah.
For my top 5 MVP list, I'm trying not to be a little too biased,
Mm-hmm.
So at number 1, I have Jokic. I feel like he's gonna have another repeat season. I'm not a big fan of him, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. Number 2, we have Joel Embiid. Obviously, another great player in during the regular season. Postseason, a little suspect. But once again, credit where credit is due. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's just that guy.
I know you're a big Tatum fan. You like Tatum.
Tatum fan. So I feel like he's gonna break out even more this season. Got a good team with him, so I think it's looking good. Number 4, I'm putting De'Aaron Fox. I'm going off the games that we've seen so far. De'Aaron big. They could do his thing.
Who's number 5?
Number 5, I'm going with Giannis.
Okay, I was gonna say you didn't have Giannis. I was gonna be very surprised by that, but I think the big outlier there is. What you gotta say? You gotta say something else?
Nah, I was almost gonna leave him out and play AD instead, but I don't know. I just feel like actually I might have to switch him out with AD.
Really?
I feel like with the reason why I say this is because with Giannis and Dame, I don't feel like he's gonna be as effective as he usually would when he is by himself. So
he's not by himself. He had Drew.
No, I know he's not by himself, but like the reason why I say that is because he got to share the ball with Dame, who was not necessarily a ball dominant player, but kind of is. Whereas AD, LeBron's taking a backseat to him now. If I'm not mistaken, they say he's playing like half the game, maybe less, like 20, 30 minutes a game. So, yeah, I'm just going AD on my 5th.
But what surprised me the most was the De'Aaron Fox. I mean, the Kings were nice last year, but there's just a lot of things. They were extremely clutch. They had some of the most. If you look at the stats, they were one of the most clutch teams in the league. They were extremely healthy throughout the year, and their defense was like 26 worse when you look at defensive rating. But I see. I can kind of get what you're coming from, but I feel like there's other players that could have a type of year better than De'Aaron Fox. Where he's like a really good MVP, like a 5th, 6th, an MVP rank type of year. Like a 4th seed, they average in 28 or something, like Donovan Mitchell last year, for example. But that was the big thing that surprised me, honestly. And Embiid, maybe I had Embiid 4. I'll go through my list again. I had number 5, I had Luka. Number 4, I had Embiid. Number 3, I had Jokic. Number 2, I had Giannis, and then number 1, I had Tatum. But the thing that had me have Embiid be so low is not only because that means he would be a back-to-back MVP, but he would also. The James Harden thing kind of just makes it's hard for me to really think that they're going to finish as a top seed. Because even in the last episode, we were talking about who to think is going to be 3rd in the conference. And, we just completely forgot about the Sixers. And I think a part of that is just due to we don't know. Even the game, their first game of the season, it just seemed like they were just missing a guy there. And I feel like Harden's just a big gap. And I know you a big fan of Harden, so you get where I'm coming from. But I don't know. Embiid, he could have a really good year. He could put up 30. He could put up 33, honestly. But I don't know if he'll have the wins for it. But Nate, let me know. Remind him of who you had as your top 5, and then let him know what you thought about his top 5.
At my 5th spot, I had Devin Booker this year, and then at the 4, I had Luka, and Jokic, then Giannis, then Jason Tatum winning it. But It was all just because I put Jokic and Giannis at 3 and 4. I mean 2 and 3, just because. I mean, for them, like I said in the last one, like their next step is like, I don't know if that's doable for them now. Like Jokic with that triple double averaging, and then Giannis, now that he's sharing, like you said, he's sharing the ball with Dame. It's gonna be hard for him. Luka, the only thing he got to do is be more consistent. I mean, Devin Booker's playing with two, like Nate was saying. He was saying the small, medium, large. He's just like that's what that whole Suns team looked like. So I don't know, sharing that ball maybe gonna be a little bit hard for him, but last year's playoff performance, I think, convinced me. So we're gonna see how it go.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about his list though?
What I think about Muhammad's list?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I thought it was pretty solid. I don't know about De'Aaron being over like Luka, but I mean, he surprised us last year too. So why not this year?
Most definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely.
I personally think I forgot about Luka. I can't lie. I forgot about Luka. Luka should definitely be up there on the list. I don't know where exactly I'd put him, but I think I could put him. I'm surprised Nate didn't put KD on that list.
Yeah, that surprised me too when he first said his. But he went into that. If they want to find out, they gotta watch episode 1. You feel me? Maybe you gotta watch episode 1. You gonna find out the answer about why he didn't put KD. If you remember last episode, he had 2 KD jerseys behind him. Now he don't got him anymore. I wonder why. Maybe episode.
You would eat it. That's why.
What you mean? Nah, episode 3 you gonna have. I don't even know who you gonna have in the background. But
That's a Project Ethan right there, bro.
I don't know. All right. Well, we talked about MVPs, but just one player doesn't mean everything. So let's look at teams. We want to give our power rankings. Even though we're a few games into the season, we could have done this a little bit before, but now we got more adjusted. You feel me? We got everybody here. Let's go into these power rankings. See, we're gonna rank them in 5s. You feel me? So 1 to 30. And you guys want to start from the bottom or from the top?
Bottom.
Bottom.
Yeah, bottom.
Bottom. All right. So who do you guys think should be like at 30? Like who do you think is the worst team in the league? Because I was thinking about it, and I feel like I kind of want to say the Wizards because I'm looking at other teams at the bottom, like the Rockets, Spurs, maybe the Spurs. You could say between the Spurs and the Wizards, but some of those guys have more like studs. Like if you look at the Rockets, they have Sengun, they got Jabari, they have Jalen, they have more pieces I could see as guys that could really go, help out the team. But when I look at the Wizards, if I look at their 4th or 5th best player, they're not as good compared to the Rockets' 4th or 5th best player. Maybe the Pistons. But what do you guys think? Who do you think should be number 30?
I think number 30, me personally, I think I'm gonna have to go with the Hornets.
Why do you say
I
that?
don't feel like as a team. I mean, they got good players. Don't get me wrong. They got Brandon Miller and LaMelo, obviously. But I feel like as a team, they probably don't have too much to offer. Obviously, they're not competitive. Whereas I feel like the other teams we compare them to at the bottom, or at least that I'm thinking of in my head, I feel like those teams would have a better chance, even as far as record-wise and playoff success, compared to the Hornets. I just don't feel like they have like enough experience or like chemistry, really.
Honestly, I kind of disagree with you on that though, because I mean, in 2023 they didn't have a good year, but the year before that, I'm pretty sure they were in the play-in the past 2 years with LaMelo, and a lot of that, the reason they had the second pick in the draft was just due to him being hurt. So I see where you're coming from, but I feel like they have some guys. They have Mark Williams. They got Gordon Hayward. They brought back Miles Bridges. They got LaMelo. They have some. I feel like if I look at and they're in a less competitive conference compared to teams like the Spurs and the Rockets. So if I think about who I think is more likely to make the, play-in, I would usually lean towards the Hornets before I lean towards the Spurs. But, I mean, not the Spurs, but the Rockets. But, Nate, who do you think should be 30th?
I mean, looking at this list, there was a couple teams that came to mind, but I mean, the number one team I was looking at, and I was just like, you know what, I honestly think they're gonna be 30th. Is probably the Wizards too, but that's just because it's a whole. I feel like they really got no structure. Watching them during the preseason and then watching their first game, it just didn't look right. So
Mm.
yeah, I think they probably gonna be 30th for sure.
Mama,
Over
you
the
cool with?
Hornets, though,
You said what?
I don't know. I really don't think. I think the Wizards are better than the Hornets. Honestly, that's just me. But because I don't think the Wizards. I wouldn't say they saying that they don't got no structure. I'm just thinking. I don't really think the Hornets have any structure to begin with. Honestly, they might be tied for
They tied.
worst.
I'm thinking about the
Yeah.
Pistons now. Now that I'm thinking about it, because the Pistons, I mean, they had a good game. They had a good first game against the Heat, but I don't know. Like, uh, they're one team. I'm kind of just I don't really know where. I feel like they're gonna be at the bottom 10, but I feel like I
I
don't
feel
know.
like I feel like with a lot of these teams also that we're putting at the bottom, they're mostly younger teams too. So
Hmm.
I guess maybe we should take into account like the upside for them.
Hmm.
Whereas like there's a lot of these teams first. A lot of the players on these teams, this is their first year, you know, first time really playing with these new guys. Like for example, Detroit. Detroit has a lot of really good players. Like they
Hmm.
got one of the Thompson twins, Cade Cunningham, Ivy,
During,
like good players, but they're also young.
yeah,
I mean, it is cool to shit, but like all the other guys, like it's gonna take a little bit of time maybe for them to like adjust to the game. Whereas for the Wizards, I'm not sure if I'm remembering correctly. I don't think they have a lot of like young players.
they
I
got
feel like
Bilal, the guy that was Wemby's teammate. They have Poole. Who else do they have? They have Corey Kispert. I remember Corey Kispert. I think who else they got?
I'm taking that squad over the Hornets, bro.
How
Now
about for
that you
the?
mentioned
You said what?
Kispert and what's it called, Poole,
Hmm.
I feel like I would take them over the Hornets. I'm just being that's just me.
How about for now? We'll just
I'm,
put both of them at the bottom, and then later we can just come back and adjust it. Because right now, I don't know how long we spent on this topic, but we have no players on the list right now. So for now, we'll just put them there. Then later we could just change it around.
no, they're probably not gonna move. I'm not gonna lie, but
Mm. And then the
you
third team, maybe the
can
Pistons, I think,
yeah, definitely the Pistons.
and then Spurs. I'm thinking as well.
What's your recent Spurs though? Because I feel like the Spurs, they got who they got?
They got Keldon
Victor.
Johnson, Vassell. They got Wemby. They got they're a good team. I mean, they're a solid team in a very competitive. It's the conference. Like when you look, there's so many guys like Memphis, Suns, Warriors, Clippers, Lakers, Nuggets, Timberwolves, Pelicans. I'm just like looking at just the teams here. Like, there's hard for me to say that any of these teams are really going to be able to be like the Spurs are going to be able to have a better record than you. Feel me? Like
That's true.
they could. I think they're going to have a really like flashes of being able to really compete with some of these teams, but just in general, when they go up against some of these guys, I think what I'm saying. They're gonna be losing, but they're gonna look really good. Maybe I don't know the Jazz. I don't know. I just thought about the Jazz right now, but I don't feel like this is
I
too
first
low for them.
their team. I'm gonna put them for me. Jazz are top 15 team.
Really? So they're
way
making the
they're competing,
playoffs.
I can see them making the playoffs.
Wow, that's surprising.
I don't think so. I don't think the Jazz are gonna get that.
Here we go with the haters, bro. What's your reasoning?
Hold on.
It's not hate.
Hold on. Okay, Nate, list off every. Hold on, let me put up a list of every team in the Western Conference, and then put a finger up if you think they're gonna have a better record than the Jazz. Okay.
Okay, when you feel like that, that's not fair.
What you mean that's not fair?
But that's not fair because the Western Conference is just stacked.
But that's
Doesn't
the
mean that
conference they're on though, so it's hard for you to say. Okay, let's just go through it. Let's just go through like half of the conference right now. If they're having, if they're gonna have a better record than the Jazz, put a finger up. The Mavericks. The Nuggets.
Yes.
Bro, no, I'm saying keep like your hands up, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What do you mean?
Like if you have If you think they're gonna have a better record than the Nuggets, keep one finger up. Oh, you think they're gonna be better than if they're not? All right. So Nuggets you think are, the Mavericks you think aren't. Okay. Oh, the Mavericks. Okay. The Thunder. The Pelicans. The Lakers. The Warriors.
Oh my God.
The
Get him
Suns.
out.
What you looking over there for? That's not gonna help you. What, the Suns. Yep.
That's not fair. These
The
are all
Kings.
talent.
Your MVP candidate, De'Aaron Fox. The Kings. The Clippers. The Timberwolves.
Damn.
The Trailblazers.
Tough one.
The Rockets.
No.
Bro,
The
that's
Grizzlies.
10, bro. They're already cooked.
You don't think the Grizzlies, the Jazz are gonna have a better record than the Grizzlies?
Yes.
Why? Let me hear why.
Grizzlies don't have John. That's
But it's only for
so
25 games though.
lead these niggas to the greatest record on earth. Like that's impossible. He hooping, but I don't think he gonna.
Yeah, but the nigga don't have to be that good to be better than Jazz.
He do. They don't have. I'm not gonna lie. Memphis is not. I don't think Memphis is him without Ja. I never liked the Memphis to begin with, so I'm kind of chatting, but like I just don't think they have the pieces right now. Who's their point guard right now since Ja's gone?
Marcus Smart, MVP, former Depoy. I almost said MVP. MVP Marcus Smart would be kind of crazy, but They got a
He's not a
deep
point
one.
guard.
and then
I
they
don't
got
see him as a point.
they got Derrick Rose as well.
Okay, see with that, but that's not like a facilitator type point guard. So I don't know who's really gonna lead this team.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
That's just me though.
What about the? I was thinking about it. What about the Trailblazers?
Trailblazers just suck. I'm sorry.
Let's put them at. I'm saying let's put them at bottom 5 for Trailblazers because
Yeah.
they're just.
Put 'em there.
So that's our bottom 5 set for now. Now the tier
There's-
above it. Let's put the Rockets. I'm saying we should put the Rockets in the tier above it.
Yeah,
You said the Rockets tier above?
Yeah.
yeah.
Or what about the Jazz?
Like this is where I would maybe put them in the tier above, like the yellow tier. But I feel like if you put the Jazz in either tier, I wouldn't be mad at it. You know.
I feel like the Jazz. I still feel the same way about the Jazz. Like you better put New Orleans before you put the Jazz in that category. I'm just saying.
Really, but New Orleans is like a 3rd seed, a
Hell
2nd seed
no.
before the February when Zion got hurt
Third seed in the East.
in the West. What you mean East? They are in the Western Conference, bro. You just I don't know. You killing me today, man.
I'm tripping. First of all, New Orleans is not a third seed in the East. I mean, in the West.
They were the West. They were like the 3rd seed and then Zion got hurt in January, like late January, and then they just went from
I
the
don't
3rd
care.
seed. A bunch of injuries happened, and then they lost. They lost in the play.
I know, but they're not competing with the niggas in the West, bro. I'm just keeping it real. Like, if you're talking about firepower wise, they're not gonna be.
Bro, you want to go through all the teams in the West again?
We don't gotta do that.
What you mean we don't got it?
We can do it realistically, but I really don't think there's 5. But
You don't think there's 5 what?
Teams that can.
I don't think like the Pelicans are good enough to beat the top teams. I think Lakers could take them. Nuggets, obviously. Warriors.
Suns?
Yeah, Suns. That's 4 right there in itself. Kings, Clippers. I'm taking them all over before I take New Orleans.
I don't know.
But to each their own. I mean, everybody got their own shit. So.
But I'm saying I think I'm putting the Jazz in this tier, man. Just because I'm just looking at these other teams. I'm just like the Magic. Maybe I think you could put here if you really want to. Do you disagree with that?
Better than Jazz.
You said what?
I'll put Magic over the Jazz.
I might do that as well. I'm thinking about it.
I'm a Magic fan, and I'm a Jazz fan, so you know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping about either.
What other fan? What else are you a fan of?
I wouldn't say I'm fans of these teams. I'm just fans of the players on these teams.
Jordan Clarkson's children.
Yeah, so for me, Jazz, it would be Jordan Clarkson. Shout out to that game winner yesterday. On the Magic, I got Paulo. I got Markel. Forget this other kid's name. The kid that came from Michigan that they just drafted.
Anthony Black.
Yeah, Anthony Black too. There's another kid from Michigan though. I forget his name.
He's a shooter. Jet Howard.
I think Howard. Yeah. And then what else? Clippers. I'm a Paul George guy. Suns. I'm a Beal fan. Celtics. Tatum fan. So it's like
Sixers.
Timberwolves.
Harden.
Yeah. something like
Timberwolves.
that.
Timberwolves. Who on the Timberwolves? Ant.
Yeah, Ant and Nas Reed. Those are my boys.
Yeah, I forgot about Nas Reed. You Nas Reed fan. So how many teams is that right there? That's about half the league, ain't it?
That's damn near
About 75% of the league.
guzzling, but okay.
I had a couple G League teams in there too, huh?
All right, listen. Where are you guys? Like, who else are you guys adding to this?
I don't know. I feel like this is the harder part because it's just like you're barely missing the play-in right here, or
Now, let's
or like the 10th
Let's just
seed.
be real. I'm gonna throw names out there that I think deserve to be in this category.
Okay.
So we got number one. I would think I'm gonna go with Magic here.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think about that?
Hold on, just go through all of them. We'll circle back.
All right, Magic, Knicks.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe not Knicks. Maybe not Knicks.
I know they're gonna
Actually,
be.
this
That's crazy.
lie. Pacers. Put Pacers in there.
Pacers. I was thinking maybe Pacers, but I'm high on the Pacers. That's hard for me because I had a video. 3 teams I'm the most high on. Pacers were one of them. I think the Pacers had a really good offseason, man.
Who they got now?
Bruce Brown. They got Bruce Brown, bro. Another video I said Bruce Bowen. They got Bruce Brown. They got a new guy that's like a forward. I forget they drafted him. They got Obi Toppin. You know, they re-signed Halliburton. I feel like they had a really good offseason, man. And I feel
I
like
think Bruce Brown and Halliburton, that's cool, but like everybody else is not really doing it. I'm not gonna lie. Obi Toppin not doing it for me. That's just me though.
I could, you know what I'm saying, sacrifice. Nate, who do you think, bro? You think the
They
Magic
got
should...
Buddy Hield.
Oh, and they're going to trade,
Put
but
those 2 teams there.
you think so? All right.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, I'm thinking about this right now. You forgot one of your guys, Scotty Barnes. I'm putting him in that tier, man. I'm putting the Raptors in that tier. They're blowing it up soon, man. I really think they're gonna trade. They're gonna lose Pascal by the end of the season. Like Pascal's not gonna be on the team anymore. What do you think about that, Mom?
I agree. And I feel like Scotty Barnes low-key might be regressing a little bit too right now.
He had a really good game last game. We're gonna talk about that later. You don't think so?
I missed that game, but I was not aware. I feel like he's been in this league 2 seasons now, right?
This is his 3rd year.
Yeah, so first season was obviously great. Second season, I felt like he kind of dropped a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's too early. I feel like maybe it's too early for me to say he's regressing, but I don't know. It's just me. Still hard though.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let me start off this next year. I'm putting the Bulls, man.
Yeah, put Bulls.
Honestly, I might even put the Pacers higher, the Bulls lower, because I think those are 2 teams. We're gonna talk about both of them. I think they're both blowing it up by the end of the year, man.
I might take the Magic over the Bulls too. I cannot lie.
Nate, what you think?
I think this list right here is where it should be at.
You think so?
That's cool. I'm cool with it.
I mean, I'm content with it, but hey, if we get some comments by you know what I'm saying, June 10, they were sleeping on the Magic. I wasn't, okay? I wasn't, just so y'all know. But
Nah, for sure what's gonna be the case. The Magic are gonna have a good season. I already know it.
yeah.
But it's not gonna be no damn motherfucking. It's not gonna be shit. Damn.
I can see them into the playoffs out the East.
What team do you think we should put next? I mean, I'm looking at teams like the Hawks. I'm looking at the Nets. I'm looking at maybe even the Mavericks, man.
I'm putting the Nets in here.
Yeah.
Ooh, That's a Nets fan too.
Yeah, that's a hey.
What's
That's
your
a
rating for
Nets.
that?
No, he's not a Nets fan. He's a Nets stan. Nate, why do you think the Nets are gonna be this low, man?
Bro, the Nets should be. Oh man, bro, we got Ben Simmons. I feel like who could actually do something, but it's just like, bro, we don't got nobody that's like, when you think about winning teams, like let's look at the winning teams that we actually know could be contenders for sure. The Bucks got Giannis and Dame. Comparing Giannis and Dame to Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, like, it makes no sense. Randall and what's that?
Cam Thomas is hard as shit though. Can't lie.
Yeah, but he's not Damian Lillard.
I mean,
He had a good. He's been having a good season so far.
Yeah, okay, and we lost both.
And you got
We lost
Dinkelberg,
both games.
Spencer Dinkelberg.
We got
Bro,
yeah.
Dinkelberg, my guy.
get him out. He need to shave that. I'm just kidding. Anyway, you think about just all the good teams they have. Two people that can take over a game completely and actually are superstars. You know, when it comes to the Nets, though, I don't know. They lost their last two games because once again, bro, no structure. Like they got Cam. They just bring in Cam Thomas at the end of the game. Hopefully he makes the shot. I mean, whatever, bro. But it's not.
Reasoning for that.
Huh?
Because Cam Thomas has proven to be a great player, but for some reason
He's a inconsistent player though. He'll put. Remember that he had multiple 40 games in a row, and then afterwards we heard crickets from him the whole rest of the year. He's just
But
inconsistent.
that's because they barely played him. Nah, you're not gonna do like that. They barely played him after that for some reason. I don't know why, but
Because when his shots
Like,
aren't
when
falling,
they
he
give
can't
him a
really do
chance to
other
play.
stuff for you. That's the issue. And it's not like he's
Like,
Tyler
but I'm
Hero or
saying-
Tyrese Maxey, where the Sixers and the Heat, how like Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid to help them. He's just you know what I'm saying. They don't really have that extra guy like, oh well, he's 4 for 17 right now, but we got our all-star, multiple-time all-star. I mean, he's supposed to be Ben Simmons, but he hasn't really played like an all-star since 2021. But I don't know, man. I like him. I think he's really good. He's shown really good flashes, but you know what I'm saying? Like, he's just been inconsistent his whole career, pretty much.
talking about Ben Simmons.
No, I'm talking about Thomas.
He's had a short career so far, I guess. I personally think he's gonna be like, if given the chance, he can be a very great player.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the ranking that you have them at, that's cool. It's not an issue. I think next is Atlanta, personally.
I was thinking about Atlanta, ATL.
Atlanta, they got, I don't even know who they got. They got, besides Trae Young,
DeJounte,
facts, DeJounte,
Clint. They lost John Collins. Now he's on the Jazz. They got
yeah, Clint. I think personally he fell off a little bit, and I don't know if they have all the right pieces to be like contending, bro.
I don't know. Like, they're just a team. I think by the time, I just don't see the Hawks winning a championship in the next 3 years because it's so hard for a player with that Trae Young archetype to win a championship. The only players I could really think of the past 75 years in the NBA to really be a 3-point shooter primary. He's not really the best on defense. Win a championship is Steph Curry, but that's Steph Curry, and Trae Young. With all due respect to Trae Young, he's not Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's worse. I would say he's a worse defender than Steph Curry is. So I just can't really see them winning a whole bunch, but like just later in the line. But right now, I'm saying I think they could be in this spot right here. I'm just saying that.
I agree. I think they should actually be in that spot right now.
And I think we might each need
have them ranked over the Thunder.
Nah, the Thunder are better, if you ask me, personally.
Yeah, I think the Thunder might be better.
I think the Thunder are.
Say that because Atlanta went to the playoffs last year. They lost to the Celtics. I mean, everybody thought the Celtics was going to win the championship last year. So, what changed this year?
Well, for one, they're two different conferences. One is considerably less competitive. I would say that. Actually, I feel like that's the main reason. Because had OKC been in the East, they probably would have made it.
Yeah, I mean they even almost made the playoffs. They lost in the play-in the last game to the forget, was they lost to the No, they beat the Pelicans, and then they lost to the Timberwolves. So if they beat the Timberwolves, then they would have gone on to beat. They went on to play the Nuggets, and you know what I'm saying. But now they got Chet back. You know, SGA he averaged 30 last year. He gonna come back. J Dub, progression of Giddy and J Dub. They got in some new rookies. They look nice. I would put the Thunder a step above. They would be at 11 and 15.
Yeah.
So we're putting.
Hold on, let's just finish 16 to 20 first, though. I'm saying let me put the Pelicans 16 to 20 right next to them.
Yeah.
This is all. If Zion stays healthy, I think I got them ranked higher. But if he doesn't, yeah, somewhere around this range.
Because we're gonna talk about players with the most improved this season. Let me just a little bit of spoiler right now. My number one guy is Zion Williamson, but it's just since his rookie season, he has not been or very he's been having injury history since his rookie year. So it's just hard for me to say they're gonna go and stay as the third seed because they were a really good team. They're a very competitive team when he's there, but when he's not there, there's a big difference. You feel me? My voice cracked. Ignored it. But who do you guys think should be 16 to 20? Last spot.
I might put Memphis.
I was thinking that. Maybe Memphis, maybe Dallas. I don't know.
See, the thing is with Memphis, it's just like they're in an awkward position. And the thing with Dallas is they just don't have defense.
You know what? I'm going to put the Timberwolves at 16 to 20.
That's what I was about to say, too. I was about to say Timberwolves. They didn't do anything. I don't think they improved in any way. They still got Cat. They still got Ogert, Rudy. And then, and they just rely on Anthony at this point. So,
yeah,
I don't know.
Mom, what do you think? You said that's one of your teams, one of your 35 teams. So, what do you think about the Timberwolves this year, man?
I personally would put the Timberwolves higher, but Nate does have a valid argument. This whole Cat, Cat and Rudy, I don't feel like it's gonna work ever. I don't even like Cat to begin with. Why? Like, I just don't feel like his game is like doing it.
I have Memphis being lower than Timberwolves, though. I think that's what I like.
Yeah, so we put Memphis here for now.
Lower than the Timberwolves? No, I don't know. I feel like they're at that same level.
That's what I'm saying, but like, if you're not putting Memphis there, or who do you want to put there? At the end of the day, it's like a borderline. So who are we feeling like is gonna have a stronger start?
And maybe even Dallas. Maybe even Dallas because that defense, bro.
They're a defense, and they're also not a deep team. Pause.
I don't know if that was pause worthy, but I don't know, man. Okay, so what do you think, Mohammed?
Based off of last year, then, if we're basing it off of what we saw last year, or the end of the year, whatever, then we can put Dallas here.
Okay, let's just do that for now because we're gonna make changes later to the bottom if we want to, if we feel like we have to make any big changes. So put Dallas and then put Memphis and Minnesota a step above. But I just don't like seeing Minnesota above the Dallas Mavericks. I don't know why. Like, I think they could have a really good year. I think Ant can go crazy. He could have a maybe even all-NBA season, but I just don't see the Dallas Mavericks being lower than the Timberwolves because both teams have their flaws, and Dallas has the better player. Like, they have the two. Like the top three teams. Like, if you look at the top three players between the two of them are on the Mavericks. You feel me?
Cat having it
maybe.
First of all, is correct.
Go ahead.
Secondly,
what'd you say first though? I didn't hear you. Cut out.
Cat having an all NBA season is great.
I said Ant, didn't I?
Huh?
I said Ant. Anthony Edwards.
You said Ant.
Oh, yeah, I can see that happening. I just think. I just don't think, based off what we have now, I don't think the Knicks are better than Memphis or the Timberwolves. That's just me, though.
I have the Knicks ranked up pretty high. They were ranked pretty high last year in the rankings. Pretty sure they was like fourth.
I just can't.
They were fourth. Yeah. No,
but
were they?
It was somewhere like.
No, they were fifth. I think they were fifth because they played against the Cavs. and the Cavs I think were the 4th seed, so it's 4th and 5th matchup. So yeah, they were 5th.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then also this game, I feel like they still got that same old roster, and then quickly was doing his thing. But I mean, I think that team is just against the Celtics, especially. Celtics just whooped. Honestly, I think they played a great game against the Heat, a team they've struggled with, and then the Knicks made it hard for them too. So honestly, I think I have the Knicks ranked up pretty high.
Yeah, I would say I'm saying right now, put the Thunder at 11 and 15. I think you guys would agree with that, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking maybe even put the Kings.
Yeah, and then after the Kings, I would put the 76ers. Or no, sorry, the Cavs.
No, I think the
I
Cavs
would
are
say
higher.
Cavs.
Cavs
Hell
higher?
no.
They should be
What's your
higher,
reason?
right? That's what I'm saying.
Okay, this is what I want to do. I want to actually no, it doesn't matter. We don't have to switch that just right now. But
No, let me know. Let me know.
I
What you
don't
think? Who do you think we
think-
should switch?
I was gonna say we should switch. You made a good point earlier. We should switch Timberwolves and Mavs.
What do you think about that?
Why? Like, why?
I mean, the two players. I feel like last year they didn't have any time to actually play well together because they were just thrown into the fire together. And I mean, if you have players that do the same thing and they play the same position too, like I feel like that just it doesn't really work unless they work it out together, as a team. And I mean, they got some pretty good additions now, Grant Williams. So,
But they have enough defense or they're cool. Like, they're hard, but I don't think they have enough defense or depth to be better than the
Timberwolves?
the
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. Okay, but
Yeah.
the Timberwolves have. I don't know about their depth. I don't think their depth is actually that nice either. But
I think
they have-
just to dumb it
they're-
down, honestly, if they were in a series, I think I'm picking the Mavericks over the Timberwolves. That's just like I just feel like they're just better. Like I don't know. I mean, I see where you're coming from, but I think I just got the Timberwolves lower than the Mavericks.
The Mavericks have Kyrie and Luka, and then they play. If Kyrie doesn't sit out for that personal issue stuff, whatever. But I mean, Cat missed a pretty good.
He missed a
amount
lot of
the
time, yeah.
season. And
I'm not
then
even-
on that-
Saying Anthony Edwards alone, bro.
Anthony Edwards alone is not beating the Mavs.
I don't know.
What you mean? He not Superman out there. He not LeBron.
He'd be on demon timing, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Especially as of late, the way he was playing for Team USA, if that translates into the season, yeah, that ain't gonna be a problem, bro.
Bro, why you making that face for? Tough.
I'm just saying.
Bro, I just don't think he can combine enough strength in the world to even get close to those two.
Yeah, but he has a supporting behind him, though.
Rudy Gobert? That man
No.
can't make a layup?
I'm talking about he got Jalen McDaniels or Jaden, whichever one it is. Who else he got?
Nas Reed, your guy
Cat.
Nas.
Huh?
Nas Reed, your guy Nas Reed.
Let me get to that. They got Cat, they got Nas Reed in the back. All people that can space the floor on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy, of course. So it's like,
All right, look. We're going to keep
But
it
it's
like
cool.
this for right now.
Yeah, for now. We gonna get back to changing it later. Maybe we will.
All right, so we're putting the Kings in here?
I'm saying we might need to put the Kings.
If we're putting the Kings in there, we're putting the Cavs in there.
yeah.
Why do you say that?
I mean, the Kings lost to Golden State as to, Cavs losing to the Knicks terribly.
I mean, okay. I see where you guys are coming from. We could just put them there. Yeah, I
De'Aaron
see
Fox
that.
is on the come up. I honestly think he's on the come up for sure. And I mean, he would need Malik. If Malik Monk, I feel like played a little bit better in that series. I had them over for sure. Like when Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox were playing well, they were shitting on him. But then Malik ain't new to
That's my man's, bro. He hard. Pause. But yeah, I can understand these rankings for now. I guess. I
So
mean,
we
it
putting the
kinda
Kings
makes
and Cavs there for now. For
Yeah, like there's some of these teams, if you put there, you have to put another team in there.
Yeah.
Like if you put the Cavs here, you have to put the Kings. And if you put the Kings here, me personally, I feel like you have to put the 76ers.
for me personally, I'm replacing the Cavs. I mean, I'm taking the Clippers. I'm replacing the Clippers with the Cavs. I don't think the Clippers are top. I mean, I just like even worse with Zion when it comes to the Pelicans and their health. Like the trio of not even a trio, just the duo of PG and Kawhi have not just been around enough for me to say that they're going to finish as a top 3 seed, get to the finals while healthy, and then win the championship. And those two are my favorite players in the league, but I just can't see it happening.
Oh, okay, cool. But if you gave me any other reason, you would have been chatting.
About what?
That's true. They cannot stay healthy for shit.
So
It's fact.
but
But not bad though. I don't top 15. I think they're a top 10 team. That's me though.
I think it's just like with the Clippers, it's like they can be a top 10 team no matter what. Like if those two actually played, they're a top 10 team. So you do gotta put them there because you know what they're capable of doing.
let me cook up right here. Let me tell you what I think we should put: Knicks, Clippers, Heat, Sixers. How many is that? Knicks, Clippers, Heat, Sixers, and Warriors.
This is 6 through 10, right?
Yeah.
I say Lakers.
I don't think 76ers are a top 10 team right now.
I mean, shoot, I just think, and they have their pieces, that they have been using pretty well. They lost their first game.
Hold on. Let's just say this. Let's just say this. Nuggets are top 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So put them in 1 to 5. Let's just do. You know what I'm saying? Elimination. What's it called? Bucks. We all think we say was top 5, and the Suns. I feel like we would all say is top 5, right? Celtics as well. Yeah. So that means one of these teams are not top 5, and I'm saying I think the Lakers are top 5.
I don't think it's the Knicks. Wait, actually, let me look at this.
I'm saying the Lakers should be top 5. The other teams should be 6 to 10, like that, and then those guys are just 6 to 10.
I still might take the Kings over the Knicks, but it's cool. I'll let it slide.
What do you guys think about this right here? Do you think we finished up our list? Should we make any changes?
Nah, I like it.
Rank the actual top 5 teams in terms of like who's number 1 through 5?
Yeah, most definitely. We could do that. So we can rank all of them if we really want to, but
That's too much work.
let's just do the top 5. Let's do the top 5. I'm saying number 1 I would put Denver. Number 2, I would put Boston. Number 3, I would put Milwaukee. Number 4, I would put the Lakers. Number 5, I would put the Suns. Or maybe swap. Between those last two would be swap. I don't know.
It would be swapped. Though the Lakers have good pickups for this season, and a lot of names that obviously hold weight and shit, I just don't feel like, for some reason, it's just not, like, it's working, but it's not working over certain teams. You know what I mean?
Hey, what do you think should be?
These 4. Wait, did Nate just switch it?
What's your 5?
You said what?
He just switched it.
You switched it?
Yeah, he put Celtics after Suns.
No, the Celtics are better. I don't know. He tripped.
Yeah,
Celtics are better than the Suns, I would say. Nate, do you agree or disagree? Because you know, sorry.
Yeah.
No.
So let me hear. Wait, Mom, did you say your top 5 in ranking? Did you rank them?
Yeah, unanimous number 1 is obviously the Nuggets. I don't know. Like, it pisses me off how they just win everything. Bucks. I don't know. I honestly don't even know if I'll put Bucks number 2, bro.
Yeah, I put Celtics number 2.
Watch so far, they're good, but like I feel like they could be better. Or maybe it's just because it's too early.
Yeah.
And, like, they still have to do. So actually, I might just leave them there. I personally would go Celtics number 3, Suns number 4, and Lakers number 5.
And then Nate, what would you gotta say?
Yeah. All right. Let me give you my list. I got Suns at 1.
Of course.
Bucks at 2. I got Celtics at 2, Nuggets at 3, Bucks at 4, Lakers at 5.
So we all agreed that Lakers are at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's keep the Lakers there. Wait, you said where should the Celtics be, Nate?
2.
2. I said 2. Mom, you said 3.
I could see them at 2, honestly.
So we should
As of
move
right
them
now,
up
they
to
could be 2.
the
Yeah.
Bucks. Now the issue is just where the Suns are, because we're saying, me and Muhammad, we have this Nuggets and Suns where they are. You have them swapped, right? Or like just basically swapped. Right, tough.
I have them swapped.
But I think just majority vote, we should just keep it this way. You know,
I feel like there's a valid point to put the Suns over, considering. Well,
the Suns. The issue with the
No.
Suns is they have no playmaker. Like now,
I'll say they have first, and I don't think they have as much depth as the Bucks do. The Suns, they have names that hold weight, but the Bucks also have names that hold weight. So there's that one. In terms of names that hold weight and players that actually like have proven themselves, we take Suns, obviously, in terms of star players.
mhm.
But in terms of depth and team chemistry, I would have to go Bucks. So it's like, you know what I mean? Am I tripping?
I don't like that the Bucks don't have a primary defender now, like somebody who can actually guard the perimeter. What else? Because what they were doing against the 76ers is, they're trying to, as soon as somebody puts the ball on the ground, they're double teaming. Say you're doing that against the Suns. What do you mean? You got 2. Let's say they're doing that to Devin Booker playing point guard. You're doing that to Devin Booker. He got
Yeah, but
Kevin Durant. He
got
got
this-
Eric Gordon. And then he got Nurkic.
And Beal on the side of him.
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
Beal. So,
You think-
that's 3. What's up?
do you feel like the Suns have someone who can do the same?
What do you mean? Yeah, we got Josh.
Josh Okogie.
Okay.
Fuck that nigga.
So you think if when the Suns match up with the Bucks, you're gonna put Josh Okogie on Giannis?
It's not gonna work.
Josh Okogie
And
and, Josh Okogie and Nurkic on Giannis is not. This is not the solution. And they don't have. And you want to talk about defending? They don't have anyone that could defend that pick and roll.
Devin Booker.
Huh?
Who are you gonna put on Devin Booker?
Shit, nigga, we might just put Giannis on him.
Okay, but what about Bradley Beal then?
We'll flip
Chris Middleton.
Crowder.
Because Giannis not guarding Kevin Durant.
Yeah, this is very true. These two teams is like very interchangeable. I don't think you can. Go
This
wrong.
is what I think they would do. They're putting Middleton on Beal, which I know kind of just sounds a little bit crazy to me, honestly. Crowder on Book, and then Giannis on KD. But they don't usually put Giannis on KD. They usually have him be the help. But I think now with this new coach, they might put him on KD.
So I mean, that's gonna wear him down. Number one, because he's not gonna be running down in court, playing football out there. I just think it's gonna be harder for them. So yeah, we just gonna have to see. They gonna have to. I feel like a team is gonna have to make as much shots as the Sun. So that's gonna be real hard. That's why I have them above. If anything, I have the Celtics being able to match up with the Suns.
Yeah, it would be real hard if you
Nah.
didn't. Though.
The Celtics, I think, are
what?
more. They could go up against the Suns better because the Celtics they got
That's what I'm saying.
Derek, Drew, Tingus Pingus, JB, and Jason, and even Hal Horford.
Yeah, but I feel like those are people you can match up. You got Jay Crowder's old ass trying to guard Devin Booker or Bradley Beal, you can get him fried. You got Chris Middleton trying to stay healthy, trying not to buckle his knees, trying not to get tired, and then playing offense too as a third option.
Defense
Bro,
though.
alright.
You want to talk about defense? You don't want to talk about KD though.
Yeah, the Suns aren't good defensively, so it's not like they're gonna be able to
Okay,
lock them up and then.
I mean, what do you mean? He's been playing really good defense lately.
But I'm saying you're
Yeah,
acting like
some games.
it's not like they're like a top 5 defense, and they're also the best
Exactly.
offense.
But they don't have to be though. They don't have to be.
But
If
it's
they
you
get
have to. You
stop,
honestly kind of
have
have to
them
be when
scoring.
when you're playing against the Bucks, because the Bucks have the nastiest pick and roll. They got someone who can shoot from 30 and someone who can dunk from 35. Like it's hard, bro. You can't. It's,
The reason why they stop at pick and roll, bro. It's not like it's NBA 2K20 where they just throwing some damn lobs.
The reason you can't say the offense outworks the defense for the Suns and not say that for the Mavs.
what do you mean?
Whereas
Yes, you can.
How?
The Suns have a 7-foot shooter. The Suns have a very efficient. They have a very efficient shooting guard in Devin Booker, and then Bradley Beal is out there too. What do you mean?
Don't disrespect Bradley Beal, number one. Put some respect on my nigga name, number one. Number
What I
two,
say.
No. But what he's saying, well, that comparison doesn't make sense because there's KD. Let's say KD's comparison is Luka in this conversation. Booker's comparison is Kyrie. Beal doesn't really have a comparison in this conversation. What's his? I'm trying to
Not
think.
even close.
What's his name? Jaden Hardy? Is that going to be his comparison? Because it's like, I like Jaden Hardy, but that's not like, you feel me? They have three guys. The what's it called just got two. The Mavericks just got two.
yeah, same shit. You know what I mean?
I think teams have always, teams are gonna double team no matter what. Like you playing KD, you go double team sometimes. You playing Devin Booker, you go double team. That's what we saw during the playoffs. But they just added a third person to that. I mean, last year the teams were trying to force Chris Paul to shoot those. They were forcing Chris Paul to shoot those. You gonna force Bradley Beal to shoot that? I'm just saying. And then they lost 2 games. They beat the Nuggets in twice after just playing a couple of games before the playoffs. But also, and Chris Paul was out. We were playing out. The Suns were out there playing with Campaign as their point guard, bro. Come on.
That weak ass nigga.
And then it's not even just that. Now they added Eric Gordon. They added Allen. They re-signed or they kept Josh Okogie. I feel like what's it called? What's his name? Damn. Nasir Little. Eubanks. I feel like they've been playing real good. I mean, we're gonna see how that goes.
All right, I think that should wrap up that.
So this is gonna be our power ranking. Not really power ranking because you rank every team, but this is just a general ranking of.
I think we can switch Suns and Bucks.
I still disagree with that, but Mom, you think Suns or Bucks? You think it's Bucks over the Suns or no?
I feel like there's valid points for either team, but
Keep it though. Keep
it. All right. Just less word.
Yeah, just keep it for now.
In the full season, huh?
But hey, man, that's our power ranking. If you disagree, let us know in the comments. If you agree, let us know in the comments, man. What do you think should be changed? If you say, oh, the Raptors should be top 10, who are we taking down? It can't just be. Because I'm looking at it right now, I feel like I might even want to put the Clippers lower, but I just don't know for what. Like I feel like the Cavs and the Kings could have a better season than the Clippers, but it's just like that health. Like, and the Sixers are just confusing right now, and the Heat didn't really have a good offseason. So it's just a bunch of teams. Like, if you want to make the case, I could see where you're coming from, but you got to make a good case. But hey, man. All right, well, now that we finished with our power rankings, let's talk about one game we'd like to highlight from the past few nights. Who would like to start off? I feel like I've been starting off a lot.
I'll start.
All right.
Me? I watched a couple games. I watched the Warriors game. I watched the Celtics game. For me, I personally am gonna go with the Warriors game. I feel like overall it was a great game.
The Warriors-Kings game, right?
Yeah, the Warriors-Kings game. Warriors-Kings game. It came all the way down to the wire almost. It was a little bit of trailing with the Kings, but I almost felt like they were going to come back at the end. De'Aaron Fox obviously had a really good game. I think he had like
39. Yeah, he had.
Went off. But what's his name? Curry obviously that nigga went stupid. I cannot lie. He was stupid. And he was talking shit to the crowd. Crazy. It was a bad look. Cannot lie. But not really much you can do with Curry, bro. I'm not going to lie. He be turning that shit up sometimes. I really am not a fan of this new Warriors team. with like actually I don't hate it, but it's like it just looks kind of weird to have CP3 slowing down their offense
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think that necessarily like a slow paced team, but like I guess it's something that they've adapted to pretty well so far. I mean, this is a contending team that they're playing against, so I mean if this new offense is working against them, especially with some of their key players missing, like Draymond didn't play that game either. It's just like it's a good look, I guess. I mean, I'm not a big Warriors fan, but it's definitely a good look for them. Whereas for the Kings, I felt like maybe other than De'Aaron Fox, a little more effort could have been put in from like the role players, I could say. What's the name of the ginger dude?
Herder.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Herder's kind of a brick, like just a tad bit of a brick. That's just me. But yeah, overall, I think it was a really good game though, for sure.
Tef, what game would you like to highlight?
I'm gonna talk about the Bucks versus 76ers game. For one, I'd like to say, our predictions. Yeah, we said it was gonna be a pretty close game, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I said Tyrese was gonna go off. He got 31. I was right.
All right. Well, number one, I felt like, what is it? What I noticed was a lot of foul seeking, or maybe it was just like, the refs were way too quick to blow the whistle sometimes, and I'll just be like, bro, what are you calling? Sometimes just let them play. But I feel like for the Bucks, yeah, it was their first game, so they need to figure some stuff out. But 76ers, I feel like for what they have going on in their office and for who is missing, because, I mean, at the end of the day, James Harden is the game changer,
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Tyrese Maxey stepped up to the role really well. Like you just said, 31 points. He was keeping them in the game. The game was going back and forth, too. One team would get a lead, and the other one would, in that fourth quarter, the other one would come back and then get their lead. And then in the last 2 minutes, the Bucks came back, they got their lead. And I feel like even though they were getting their lead, what's his name? Damian Lillard has 17 free throws made. He went 100%. I feel like the Bucks had no answer for Joel, really. What I noticed was he was missing shots that he usually makes. So really, I feel like that was a winnable game for them. Well, definitely, but turnovers down the stretch from Joel, and then Tobias was stepping up too. But the Bucks, Giannis was shooting horrific from the free throw. I don't even know what he shot, but it was like terrible. I mean, I guess it's a bad game on his end, but yeah, bro, I just think it was a winnable game for the 76ers for what they have going on, and
Kelly Oubre had like 25, 26. He was going off too.
Was it what?
Kelly Oubre, he had like 26, 27 points, 25 points.
He had 30.
Kelly Oubre had 30?
Yeah, that boy had 30.
He fits well on this.
I don't know.
I think he fits well on this team. I think Kelly Oubre fits well on this team compared to some of his other teams that he's played for.
Mm-hmm. But what were you going to say?
We'll see how it goes down the stretch, of course. I just feel like if Joel would have hit those shots that he usually hits, no contest on the mid-ranges, that would have been a very bad upset for the Bucks. And I feel like, the terms would be different if, Dame had those amount of points and Giannis had those amount of points and they still lost to just Joel and Tyrese.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's just my takeaways from that game.
Mm-hmm. For me, my game I'd like to highlight was I've seen a good amount of games. I saw the end of Brooklyn and Dallas. I saw the Sixers Bucks game. I saw a little bit of that Kings Warriors game, and Spurs Rockets. They had it. That was a good game. Wemby almost got dunked on by Jabari. He blocked it. They met at the rim. We were talking about Josh Okogie blocking. It was like this. It was just almost the same thing. Mm-hmm. But my game I'm going to bring up is the Rockets. I mean, not the Rockets. The Raptors versus the Bulls game. Two teams are kind of just on the verge of we don't really know what they got going on right now. The Bulls, the first game of the season, they had a players-only meeting. So a lot of stuff just looking, rough for them right now. And they came up, they were down. I saw like the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter up to the end of overtime, but it was I saw they up by like 17 points. They came back. There was just a whole bunch of because it's not like both teams are shooting crazy, all that. It was just a bunch of people making mistakes, like missed free throws, turnovers, offensive fouls, and it was just very more. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's a bad but good game because they weren't really. Nobody was really. You feel me? Because if like if you're just playing regular versus other team, you know what I'm saying? But that game was, that's probably my favorite game from the past few days that I watched. And even Alex Caruso, he even hit that game winner, and he got the game winning steal at the same. He got the game winning steal and then the game winning three. But what do you guys think about the Bulls, and how much do you think, are they going to keep this core, try to make a push, or do you think it's kind of the end for this team?
I don't want to say it's necessarily the end, but I don't think they have the skill level to make a push either. Like we seen them, the push that they made recently was with that season when DeMar went off.
Mm-hmm.
DeMar's a little older. It's not easy for anybody to just go off like that the way he did that season. So, with him being the driving force, Zach LaVine's a great player, hometown dude. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to him and everything. But I just don't know what's going on with him. I feel like he's definitely regressed as well as a player, slightly.
Mm-hmm.
He's not performing he used to perform. That's just me. I don't feel like he's leading the team in a competitive direction, I would say.
Hey, what you gotta say about that? What do you think about the future of this team? Because I know you a big Lonzo guy. You a big Lonzo fan, so.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So, number one, I feel like you just said that year that, what's his name, DeMar went off, I feel like when they had Lonzo, they was going to work, but that's because they had a point guard. I don't know who their point guard is now. I mean, you have two people that can score the ball. You got killer mid-range shooter in DeMar, and you got a versatile scorer in
Zach
LaVine, and they got a pretty good center. So I'm saying they just got no point guard. They got Alex, but he not no point guard. So it's struggling in that aspect of the game. And Lonzo brought defense. He brought playmaking. His shooting went up. His shooting percentages went up. They skyrocketed. So I feel like with that comes a great team, because now you got a point guard who can actually defend. I don't know what point guard in the league you can say can actually defend. He was distributing. He was throwing that rock around. So I just think if Lonzo was on this team, it would be a whole different story. But he's sitting out again this year, so I think they probably won't risk it and just probably end it by the end of this year.
I think honestly, by the end of the year, because DeMar's on this last year, so he could just leave in free agency. So they're gonna and I saw in the article they said that they weren't even close to extension talks. So if he does leave, they want to get something out of him. They want to get some assets in exchange. So what teams do you think could go out and trade for him? Because I'm trying to think. I was thinking about the three of them: Vucevic, DeMar, and Zach. Who I think would who can players get? What can the Bulls get in exchange for him? The Zach, I could see the Knicks or the Heat trying to get him, but I don't know for DeMar or Vucevic, because I feel like they're just very unique players and very different different types of players, and not many teams around the league really need a type of player like them. But what teams do you think would be interested in any of the three?
For Vucevic, I personally think he might just go to the highest bidder. Whoever offers the most to the team, for him, I think would go. Whereas for DeMar, according to some of the shit I've seen come on some of the podcasts he talks about and shit, it seems like he's trying to come home back to Cali.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially joining any of the teams out there, specifically the Clippers, if you ask me. But I don't see him signing to any team that's not in California. That's just me though.
What about Golden State? I just thought about it right now, but I don't know if they have the money for it. I mean, maybe if they move Chris Paul, but I could honestly, I barely kind of see. I see a little bit. I see DeMar on the Warriors just a little bit.
Yeah, because I feel like he's kind of in the same situation as where Kawhi was trying to come home type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially later on in his career, I could see him going to a team down there for sure.
But then, what team do you think? Yeah, I see. But you didn't really give a pick for Vucevic, because Vucevic I think was the hardest for me, because a lot of teams already got their center. You know what? Like
Yeah,
you said.
but I feel like Vucevic is a slept on center. I'm not gonna lie. Like
Mhm.
to me personally, because he can do a little bit of he can't dribble or anything, but he can like spread the floor a little bit. So with that, there's some teams that still could use a player like him. I'm trying to think off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's hard. That's what I was trying. Let me look at a list of just what's it called, and then I'm gonna just give some player. I mean, some teams I think might trade for him. You said what?
I might give a wild. I might just put a wild take and take say Vucevic over Aiton. Fuck it.
I don't know. I don't know if the Blazers would do that type of trade because they want to stay young. But I kind
Well,
of see where you're coming from.
Zach, I got him. Yeah, most likely the Knicks. But I mean, either way, regardless for both of them, for Zach Levine, I see them going to a team where they think they can actually win now. You know,
Hmm.
'Cause like you said, they getting older. So and Demar, I know he was. I'm pretty sure he was looking forward to playing with the Lakers. They were looking at him for a while before he went. And so it's just like, you know. But for Vucevic, I got a team for him.
Knicks.
Nah, they got Mitchell Robinson. I think Vucevic would go well with the Grizzlies.
So you would put Vooch at the 5, Jaren at the 4. Who's their 3? I don't know. And
That
then
could work.
Desmond, you could put Desmond, whoever you want to.
I was looking at it. I was thinking maybe even the Pelicans, but I like that more honestly because, I mean, he can be kind of. I mean, now Adams is out. Steven Adams is out for the whole season due to his surgery. So
Again,
now, if you really want to try to make a win now move, you know, like they're down. They're like 500 team, but the West isn't really as good as we thought they could be. Oh, we gonna trade for Vucevic. We trying to make a little playoff push, you know, try to make up for our losses. But I can see where you're coming from with that. I mean, I don't know, but like that's one the player out of the 3 I'm most interested in seeing what type of offers. And it really just depends on what type of offer they get from the Memphis Grizzlies for them to say, yeah, we can take that. But you feel me? It's interesting. I think that situation is just, and even on the Raptors side, like Pascal was going into his last year. There were reports that he was gonna get traded to the Hawks, but I mean, what team do you think Pascal might even go to?
I see more rumors about him coming to the Nets, to be honest. But I mean, we gonna see. I think Pascal can really fit in the line of the systems,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. We just gonna see. 'Cause I know teams want a playmaker, like, you know, not playmaker like as in like somebody who can throw that ball, but I mean like somebody who can make plays. You know, somebody who can actually do his thing on the court and it's actually going to impact the game. You know, so yeah, I think I have Pascal. I feel like would be more interesting for me than Vucevic.
Most definitely, most definitely. But now let's go to our next segment. On the 3rd of November, the NBA's first ever play-in tournament starts. I got the groups right here on my phone. We're going to go through all the groups, and you're going to tell me who you think is going to win the group. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
So we got in West A, we were talking about them earlier, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Phoenix Suns, the Lakers, the Jazz, and the Trailblazers.
Suns.
You think Suns too?
And
West B is Nuggets, Clippers, Pelicans, Mavericks, and Rockets.
Nuggets probably.
West C is the Kings, Warriors, Timberwolves, Thunder, and Spurs.
Warriors.
Kings.
East A is Sixers, Cavs, Hawks, Pacers, and Pistons.
Say it again.
Sixers, Cavs, Hawks, Pacers, Pistons.
Yeah, Sixers.
East B is Bucks, Knicks, Heat, Wizards, Hornets.
Bucks.
Yeah, probably Bucks.
East C is Celtics, Nets, Raptors, Bulls, Magic.
Celtics.
Celtic.
I feel like something could have been based off. I get like it's different pools. They separated it into different pools or whatever, but I
Mhm.
feel like the pools may not be as competitive considering like there's only one top team pool. Like out of all the pools that you just named, there's not like a lot of teams that can compete with like certain teams in there. If you know what I mean.
But it's kind of hard just to have every because they're trying to make each pool equal. So they use the standings from last year. But if you had like the Sixers and the Celtics in the same pool, and the other team in the other pool is like then the
So,
Cavs or like the Knicks or something else, or even like the Wizards, they have a couple wins that aren't expected. You know,
so is it like pool A plays pool B type thing?
the
Or is
pools
it
play each other. I mean, it starts on the 3rd of November. I don't know if I said that already, but it starts on the 3rd. Every Tuesday and Thursday, I think they said is the pool players from each pool, like inside the pools, play against each other. The winners they get the pool winner. Then the pool winners play each other from each of the Western the Western teams play the other Western pool winners. The Eastern teams play the other Eastern pool winners, and then the winners of the East pool and the West pool play again. They play against each other in the final game in Las Vegas, and then that winner gets the regular playing. They get the MVP. They get the championship, not championship, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think about this in-season tournament in the first place? You think it's a good addition? Do you think the NBA is doing too much, or what?
In addition, honestly, I think the league has been due to need some change.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's change that's not too much and it's not too little either.
Mm-hmm. One thing I wish they did was maybe make it a little bit later, because I feel like now still people are still kind of high on the regular, like the NBA coming back again. I feel like you maybe need this more in like April, because that's when people are gonna start. Because I mean, they're not gonna be really load managing game 3, game 17 of the season. They're gonna start load managing game 55, game 56. But
Well, I think load man get a little bit now, the way they're seeming to talk about it.
then
Like,
what you
the
think about
NBA
this whole?
starting
I'm sorry, what you gonna say?
if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure the league is trying to like cut down on how people like manage how much time they take off and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that altogether, that shit might be dead. But I don't know.
Nate, what do you think about this playing groups, and what do you think about the playing tournament?
I think it brings a
In-season
little more
tournament.
excitement to the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty solid addition. Does it add more games? I don't think it adds more games.
There's only the two teams, like the winners of the Eastern area and in the Western, they get additional game. They play 83 games, but I mean it's better than, honestly. I really like the addition. I think it's really gonna help out the league. But our last segment of the day is the players you think have the most to prove this season. What guys you think really gotta show out this year, or else a lot of narratives gonna be thrown at them.
All right, you go first.
Me go first. All right, I got two guys from for this. Number one, I talked about it earlier. I got Zion. I mean, he's been injured, like I said, since his rookie year. He's been having injury history. I mean, injury problems, and because of those problems, he wasn't able to win Rookie of the Year. They missed out on the playoffs. He missed out on playing in the playoffs in 2022. His team missed out on the playoffs in 2023. He's just been having a lot of issues with that going into. He's been in the league for how many years? 4 or 5 years now. If he keeps on having these injuries, he's gonna be a young guy that gets injured a lot to just a guy that's kind of 26, 27. He's still getting injured. How does the team really look at him like that? And the other guy I got is Giannis. I mean, lost in the first round as the best record in the league. Now he put all this pressure on the Bucks to make a move, or else he's gonna request a trade or leave. And then they brought in Damian Lillard, so a bunch of people are just like, okay, you got what you wanted. You just lost in the first round last year. What are you gonna do now? So I think if he has another first round or second round exit, people aren't just gonna be like, okay, well, he's still the second best player in the league. They're gonna start putting him way lower, especially if he has games like he did last game. And he's one of my favorite players in the league. So I mean, you kind of just saw his face. He was a little bit surprised when I said that, but I think he has a lot to prove. Like he got to really show out right now. He's supposed to be in his prime. You feel me? But
For your take on Zion, I feel like another aspect that you missed out on is his maturity level. I think that's also something he needs to like. That's also something that that needs some light to be shined on it, because obviously on the court he's been dealing with some like weight issues since he got in the league. You know, with staying in shape and shit. You know, he a little chunky fella. And then obviously, you know, he got his whole
We're not even gonna peek into his minutes. That's his business. We ain't gonna get too deep into that right there. But
deep into it, but it needs to be addressed.
okay.
His little situation with certain people off the court, you know, with strippers and all that stuff. Doing little dominant stints here and there, you know. So for me, it's just like it's kind of questioning his dedication to the game as well, which is something that I feel like he needs to really like show us what he's here for and like what he's capable of doing, while also doing it in a professional manner.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I feel like that's something like not just him, but a lot of players have been like slacking on, I would say.
Mm-hmm. So what are you two? What do you think about Giannis? Say that he got us a lot of proof this year.
I don't think Giannis really needs to prove himself. I'm not gonna lie, like he's kind of done it all already. Like, what is he trying to prove now?
I mean,
like, what is there to prove?
He got to really like not really prove. I mean, but just like you have a lot of pressure on. He has a lot of pressure on him right now. He's supposed to be in his prime. He just got his best teammate he's ever had. He just lost in the first round. I mean, he's supposed to be in the argument for the best player in the league. But if he goes on to have another first round exit, you already know what they're going to be saying about him on Twitter. You already know what they're going to be. You know, he has a lot of stuff like if he has another bad year, if he doesn't do well, a lot of things are going to be said about him. And I mean, that's all I gotta say about that.
With that, I really think it can go two ways. Because, like, with the new addition of Damian Lillard to the team, I feel like his numbers are going to drop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have to be sharing the ball. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I feel like people will still run with that for the simple fact that his stats are dropping.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do have success, it's not going to be credited specifically to him because Damian Lillard is there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, unless he like blatantly goes off for like 50, like very often, I really don't think he has anything to prove. He's done everything quite literally that like almost a player could do.
I mean,
he's got the
yeah, he's done a lot. I mean, I even said he's one of my favorite players, but he's supposed to be, if he's supposed to be that upper tier, you can't have a season like you did last year, and you can't put all this pressure on this front office and get it a guy like Dame. Even though it's his first year with Dame, they didn't even really get a summer to the offseason to work with him. There's just gonna be a lot of people like, okay, now what are you gonna do? You did all this stuff, all this free agency stuff, like all this pressure. What are you gonna show? Like you know.
Well, if that's the case, then I feel like you need to also shine some light on Joel Embiid, because Joel Embiid finds himself in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's a great player, but he doesn't necessarily perform when needed.
But the thing is with Jay, I thought about putting in Embiid, but the issue is that the Harden stuff, and he can't really change that. If it was like just a repeat, like Harden was like, all right, I'm back, let's go get this, I would have put Harden. I mean, I would have put Embiid over Giannis because Giannis has the ring. If you want to discredit it all you want, but Giannis has that ring. Giannis, he went crazy in 2021, but if you know what I'm saying, like he has that, but Embiid, he does have a lot of pressure on him, but it's just due to his situation that pressure trying to get alleviated.
I see what you mean. Nate, what's your take?
Giannis and Zion?
Uh-huh.
Well, I think the Zion one makes sense. Like, this guy be sitting out too much, and his sitting out, it'd be affecting his team, obviously, because he's that piece that they need to actually, get over that little hump. Maybe not to be like, champions, but, it'll give them that experience that they might need to come back that next year and actually do something,
Mm-hmm.
But with Zion, I feel like, and also with Giannis, I feel like, he does got something to prove. Like you said, his front office went all out. They did what other teams were trying to do, and they got him Dame, somebody who's supposed to fix his flaws. Everybody's freaking out talking about that pick and roll is gonna be crazy. That those two together, 35 feet. You can't build that wall, whatever, bro.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like and then when you want to rank Giannis at that 1A, 1B best player conversation, he got to be able to use Damian Lillard to his advantage and win.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic got his. Jokic got his. What's his name? Damn.
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray. And Giannis has got Damian Lillard. I would rank. What's his name? Damian Lillard over Jamal Murray, but we're gonna see how that go.
Mm-hmm. So what are you? Who wants to go next? Give their two, guys they think have the most approved. All right, talk to me.
I have two players, and I have them for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
My players I'm going with are Ant-Man and De'Aaron Fox. The reason why I'm going with this is I personally feel like they are two players that are just like, I want to say somewhat overlooked. Not as much Ant-Man, but specifically De'Aaron Fox. I feel like he's a very underrated player, and he doesn't get the respect he deserves. So I feel like this season especially from what I've seen from him in the last game, like he's definitely out to prove like that he's one of the highest caliber point guards you can get out here.
Mm. I mean, I don't know, maybe you just interpret it a different way, but I feel like it's a lot of when you have most to prove, it's like you've done something, so you really got to show your talent for what you've done, Like Zion, he's been out a lot, all that other stuff. So now you have to really prove and show out why you are still that all-star, all-NBA caliber type of guy. But if you want to say like, oh, he got to really show out this year, especially with Ant, because a bunch of hype is coming out of Team USA. A lot of people expect him to be, going crazy, want to be the best shooting guards in the league. Timberwolves make the playoffs, like especially like the past 2 years, the stock of Anthony Edwards has risen up a bunch, and most definitely I can see where you come in from Ant, but Fox a little bit less,
Why? I mean, mainly for Fox, what I'm thinking is, does he have what it takes, both as an individual and as a team, to repeat what they did last season? Because we all know Sacramento was like, you know what I'm saying? They ass. Like, just keeping it real.
Mm-hmm.
So break that stereotype, especially last season. Hopefully they can keep the momentum rolling and change the culture. That's what we're really looking to see from. I'm looking to see from him as a leader on the team this season, both statistics and like I said, as a leader. So
most definitely. Tef, what about you, man? What do you think about his? And then let us know your two players.
I think for Anthony Edwards, for somebody who just got paid money, he gotta showcase that skill again. He can't have. Last year he started off real slow, and I feel like he can't do that this year. Like they're paying you all this money, and you're up and coming. You about to be the next face of the league.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. But he's gonna be one of those players that is the next generation of who we gonna be like, nah, he's the best in the league. Nah, he's the best in the league. He's gonna be in those debates, but he got to showcase that, and it starts this year.
Mm-hmm.
De'Aaron Fox. I mean, he lost to a pretty good Warriors team, but I mean that should really be the reason why he comes back this year and actually does does more and comes back for revenge. So he's playing really good in the playoffs, but you got to just step it up one more gear, and I feel like he's able to do that.
Mm-hmm. So who are your
Anthony?
Oh, my bad. You go.
My bad. With Anthony Edwards, bro. You know what I'm saying? He got paid that bag. He got Naz Reid by his side. He should be straight.
That's definitely. But Nate, who are your two guys you think they got a lot to prove this year?
My two guys both play for the same team, and it's Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, bro.
Fair. I see what
you're out here lacking, bro. That team was made to be winning, and for as long as they've been together, like, yeah, whatever. Paul George hyperextended his knee. I remember on his podcast, he said something about, if he could, he would play, but if he knows he's not about to play at 100, what's the point of playing? Because that's just bringing his team down. And then Kawhi Leonard, he played real good that first game against the Suns, but then he sat out, and they got spanked out the damn playoffs. So, I mean, those two they had that team form. They didn't succeed. They just added Westbrook, somebody who gonna play point guard for them, distribute that ball. And I mean, they had their little moment, especially yesterday. I don't know how they lost to the Utah Jazz, a bunch of shitters, but
And Clarkson.
he had 13 points
And a clutch 3.
at like 22% from the field, but it don't matter. I'm just saying those two, it's their last year together. I'm pretty sure Paul George's
They're both
contract ends
going
this
into
year.
free agency. They both could just be unrestricted, but they got player options. Both of them got.
Yeah. So yeah, I think those two are the ones that I feel like should be at the top of people's list to have something to prove, because they don't do it this year. That's just another year added to their age, and they're not getting any younger. So Kawhi Leonard getting injured, Paul George getting injured, but when they do play together, you see it. Paul George had 2 pretty magnificent games, the past 2 games that they played.
I like that word.
Magnificent.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure their first game they combined for 50. Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah, it was something like that.
PG had 27. Kawhi had 23, and then I don't know. I think Paul George just had 30 something. I think so. If they continue to play as a team, I feel like that team got something going on.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna see how they do.
All right. Well, that is the end of episode 2 of the Power Trip podcast. Man, we want to do a thing where we get a hot take from every episode. So if you leave the comments, you probably just look down right now. You feel me? You ain't got no comments right now, but if you want, it's a guarantee you're probably gonna be in the video. So, drop a comment and then give us a hot take. We gonna talk about it in the next episode. But y'all got any more closing thoughts about to end this off?
Looking forward to a great season, man.
Okay. Def, what about you? You got anything to say?
And they're better, bro. They're better than the Bucks.
Questionable take.
All right, bro. Catch y'all next time, man. Thank you for watching. Peace, man. All right.